This map of the Middle East highlights the Strait of Hormuz. It is a narrow, highly contested choke point responsible for moving up to 25% of the entire world's global oil trade. To keep this vital waterway open, the United States deploys massive shows of traditional naval force, parking them roughly 150 kilometers off the Iranian coast. These ships operate as floating fortresses. A single vessel in this fleet can carry up to 5,000 Marines at a time, along with fully operational hovercrafts and heavy armored vehicles stowed in the lower decks. The upper decks are packed with cutting-edge technology, like the multi-million-dollar F-35 fighter jet. These highly advanced planes don't even need a traditional runway. They use direct engine thrust to perform vertical takeoffs right off the ship. By conventional military logic, positioning this amount of expensive, overwhelming technological superiority right off a coastline should force any regional opponent to immediately back down. But that traditional deterrence is failing. Instead of retreating, Iranian forces are actively leaning into the escalation, openly preparing to turn the region into a long, grinding war of attrition. The US is taking unexpected hits, losing highly advanced aircraft, and dealing with constant, aggressive harassment against their largest naval vessels. A totally different, low-cost style of warfare is actively neutralizing the advantages of the world's most expensive military hardware. The ultimate defense shield for an American warship is the Close-In Weapon System, or CWIS. It is an automated turret capable of firing 6,000 rounds per minute. The moment a high-tech enemy missile approaches, this system automatically tracks the threat and shreds it in fractions of a second by putting a literal wall of lead into the air. Iran counters this multi-million-dollar automation with simple math. By firing up to 500 cheap, expendable drones at the ship all at once, they intentionally trigger the automated guns until the ship's magazines run completely empty. Once the defense system is saturated, they deploy a second layer, a mosquito fleet. These are dozens of small, highly maneuverable motorboats loaded with heavy explosives, speeding directly toward the hull. When an automated defense system spends its entire ammunition supply shooting down cheap airborne decoys, the billion-dollar ship sitting underneath it is left wide open to a single, fatal boat strike. This aircraft serves as the eyes of the US military. It's an AWACS plane designed to scan massive areas from high altitude. That black and white dome houses a sensitive radar array that sees threats up to 600 kilometers away. Iran neutralizes this advantage through pinpoint missile strikes. Rather than trying to blow the entire plane out of the sky, they specifically target the delicate tail stabilizers or the radar dome itself. Hitting a specific part of a fast-moving aircraft requires extreme precision. They achieve this by utilizing real-time, highly accurate satellite data provided by Russian and Chinese intelligence networks. Taking out just one of these fragile radar planes leaves an entire high-tech fleet completely blind, unable to coordinate stealth maneuvers or track incoming fire. Closer to the ground, the US relies on heavy-hitting attack aircraft like the F-15 Eagle and the A-10 Warthog to clear out enemy positions. These jets have a physical flaw that cannot be hidden. Their massive engines generate a heat signature burning between 400 and 600 degrees Celsius. The standard defense against a heat-seeking missile is to drop a series of burning magnesium flares, creating alternative heat sources to confuse the incoming tracker. But Iran's modern infrared missiles are programmed to ignore those small, scattered decoys. Instead, they lock strictly onto the massive, sustained thermal footprint of the main engine. Despite billions invested in evasion tech, the basic physics of jet propulsion gives cheap heat-seeking missiles a perfect target, forcing pilots to abandon their multi-million-dollar aircraft. Zooming out now from the tactical level, you might wonder why a superpower doesn't simply locate and eliminate the enemy's top command structure to end the conflict. Iran operates under a Hydra protocol. Their military is divided into 31 highly decentralized, independent mosaic factions. Taking out top generals has almost no effect, because each local unit controls its own arsenal and strategy. This satellite image shows another massive geographic advantage for Iran, the Caspian Sea. Because this northern body of water is entirely enclosed, Russia and China can endlessly funnel weapons and supplies directly to Iranian forces, completely out of reach of the US Navy. An enemy that cannot be starved of supplies and cannot be paralyzed by decapitation strikes guarantees that any traditional ground invasion will turn into an endless, bloody quagmire. Iran also holds intense leverage far outside its own borders. By utilizing proxy forces, like the Houthis in Yemen, they can threaten entirely different maritime choke points, like the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. An even sharper threat is aimed directly at the fragile infrastructure of neighboring U.S.-allied Arab nations, specifically their massive water desalination plants. A single asymmetric strike on one of these facilities using a dirty bomb or a chemical agent would instantly contaminate the water supply, plunging the entire region into an immediate humanitarian crisis. A billion-dollar conventional army is incredibly powerful, but that power stalls when an opponent arms themselves with cheap swarm technology, decentralized networks, and the willingness to hold critical civilian infrastructure hostage.